Hey, it's Sandra J. It is so absurdly bright today. I literally just woke up from a nap, so I may be talking a bit slow and like I may be a bit slovenly right now, but it's because I'm literally shocked that I didn't roll over and smudge all my makeup. But today was a lazy Kenma day. I haven't cosplayed Kenma in so long. I actually haven't cosplayed Haikyuu in so long, like, oh. But yes, we're back here today with another cosplay tips video. I'm so glad the first one did well because I love cosplay tip videos. So yeah, I'm just gonna share a few more tips that I have, and I hope some of these tips can also end up being helpful. Tip number one, lock your exposure. If you're taking pictures with a camera, with your phone, you can take pictures with your phone also, by the way. If you take pictures with your phone, I feel that, but you definitely wanna lock your exposure. This is a very like basic tip. Most prominently, you wanna lock your exposure on your face. So in every shot, there's gonna be more even lighting and your face is the thing that's highlighted in the shot. It's the worst thing when I finish taking pictures and I'm so confident that, oh, I'm so excited to see how these turn out, and then they all end up dark or blurry or out of focus, and I'm like, yeah, locking the exposure can minimize pictures being unevenly lit. It also just makes a photo set look more cohesive, that is the word. Tip two, focus on what you want to do for your content. Cosplay content, there's a very wide range of what you can do. You can craft, you can style wigs. On Instagram and TikTok, you can lip sync, you can create tutorials. There are so many forms of media for cosplay, right? And once you start creating content, you start getting the flow of things, you might find yourself gravitating towards one form of media over another. Just make sure that form of media is exactly what you want to do. Focus on your interests and what you want to create. And if maybe you want to focus on crafting and you're not so much for general cosplay content like lip syncing or anything like that, that is totally fine. Do craft. If you don't want to post on TikTok, don't post on TikTok, you guys. And it's good to utilize a bunch of platforms, but always use your platforms in the way that you want to use it. Y'all, YouTube is so fun. YouTube is so much more fun. This is just what I like to create the most, and I like to create videos the most. So I'm not necessarily slacking on YouTube or TikTok content, but I'm trying to figure out what am I doing on YouTube that makes me like it more than what I'm doing on TikTok and Instagram. And then I'm going to alter my content accordingly to fit my interests. So I might be talking more on TikTok and Instagram. I might be making dance covers or routines because that aligns with, you know, what I want to create while in cosplay, while doing cosplay, you know, while cosplay is a hobby that I do and it is in my life. I'm looking outside and there's people playing volleyball and I'm in here. That's very excellent. I'm so fit. Tip 3, deviating from the canon. You, deviate from the canon. Go ahead. It's completely fine and you're totally okay. It doesn't make you less of that character. It doesn't make your cosplay less authentic. If you want to style a wig a different way, or if you want to do certain makeup for a certain character, do it. Because that becomes you cosplaying that character. That is your cosplay. You don't have to make your cosplay look exactly the same as someone else's cosplay. And the argument with what is canon and what is not canon, it's weird because to me, canon is like, do you look like the character? And if someone's cosplaying the character, they look like the character, like someone cosplay the character, they cosplay the character and look like the character. Therefore, canon. You know what I mean? I use it very loosely as well because the second we give it a very strict connotation like this is canon, that's when it gets, in a way, toxic. That's when we start setting standards for what something should be. And that's not cosplay. Cosplay is art and art is subjective. And I tend to opt for other words other than canon, like incredible, amazing, stunning. There's so many other words other than canon. So like, canon doesn't have to be a main goal or focus because I just think we associate too many very strict things around what is and what is not canon, and I'm like, you know, let's not. Let's break away from the canon real quick, guys. Dress up like fictional characters. And everyone looks so cool. Oh my goodness. So yes, Curl the wig. Make a design choice with the outfit. Make an original outfit. Create a closet cosplay. Oh my goodness! Paint your character's nails. Give your character rings. Give them a cute little necklace that you think fits their vibe, because we love to see it. And speaking of closet cosplays, this goes into my next tip: closet cosplay. Closet cosplays. Closet cosplay was the way to go and is still the way to go. A bunch of people say this because it's true. Closet cosplays are 100% valid, and if you feel hesitant about them because, oh, maybe they're not as quote-unquote canon or screen accurate, and I'm gonna touch your hand when I say this. Closet cosplays are valid and so cool and amazing and creative and stunning, and I love them and they're perfect. And the tips I have are, there are certain articles of clothing that are reused throughout like a lot of characters, and here are a few. So if you want to add them to your wardrobe, which is also your closet cosplay hoard, I would suggest these articles of clothing. A button-up shirt, whether that be long-sleeved or short-sleeved, or you can get both. You can find them for pretty cheap. Some kind of pleated skirt, whether it's dark blue or black, maybe even a sneaky little pattern. Can I just say, like, a white t-shirt? A good and solid white t-shirt. A good and solid black t-shirt. These are clothing pieces that like so many characters wear, and you can like closet cosplay them a lot easier. Yes, closet cosplays are super cool, valid, stunning, and they're very versatile if you want to reuse certain articles of clothing for different characters. Next tip, props. Simple props around the house. Posing with them, taking pictures with them, that can help elevate a cosplay. You know, give a bit of setting, give a bit of context. For example, for my Fugo cosplay, I can have a fork. For Narancia, I recently did Narancia, I had a stereo and headphones, which is not as common, but it was literally just lying around and I was like, wait a second, that is perfect. Raid your basement, raid the backs of your closet, raid whatever area for random objects, and try and use it as a prop for some of your cosplays. Like stuffed animals, sports equipment, certain like hats that you can use for different characters. Props are really fun to incorporate as well, because sometimes it's easier to pose with props. That way you have something to occupy your hands and you're not just... But as soon as I get a prop, where is it? On a side note, I love the smell of my cosplay closet. It just smells like wigs and fabric, and yes, it's so delicious. Where is it? Hold on. I'm actually like freaking out right now. Where is my volleyball? Hooray! Found it. Stunning. Yeah, now I have something like hold to occupy my hands and stuff. Hurrah! Props are cool, props are fun. This volleyball is kind of like smushed. Kind of spent too much time in the closet and not being used because I don't play sport. Next up, photo composition or video composition. I'm kind of not really following this tip since all my videos are quite close up and I'm sitting literally right next to the camera. My tip is to zoom out more when you take photos or videos. When you're zoomed out, it gives the illusion that there's more space in a smaller amount of space, if that makes any sense. So on Instagram, I used to post a lot of close-ups, and that was great. You know, it was a formula that worked. I would like pull up my ring light, I'd tilt it down, I'd get really close to the camera, and then the pictures would be like... Those were my old photos. And it worked, you know, it was a nice little formula that I followed for about a year and a half. But then after, I was like, let's start taking photos that actually show the cosplay, show what I look like in the cosplay, and not just my forehead. So I zoomed out the camera, and lo and behold, I was a person with shoulders and arms and legs, and I could pose. Not that well, but I had attempted many a times. And it just made pictures look a lot more open and spacious, and it wasn't cramped. And if you like taking close-ups because maybe you focus on makeup as well, that's totally fine too, because a good close-up is very fancy. I love it, I love the details, and I love makeup. Makeup is so pretty and satisfying to watch. But if you want to try and elevate the way you take photos and change it up a bit, I do recommend zooming out and maybe getting part of your torso in there. Like my goal would be like to fit the entire 5 in any picture I try and take. Maybe try and get a full body shot because those are like super cool. I always wish I could get more full body shots because you'd spend so much time getting into cosplay and all you have are like proof that you were into cosplay from the waist up. And I'm like, well, I have the shorts on too, but you can't see them. Taking pictures from a distance can help kind of show the entire thing a bit better, and it gives you variety in the types of photos you have. Also on Instagram, it just looks a lot more spacious. I posted one of my older photos, which was more of a close-up, and then I posted a recent one that kind of zoomed me out a bit more. And the close-up looked like very tiny of a space on Instagram compared to the one where, you know, more of my cosplay was showing. And that's pretty valuable when scrolling through a homepage or a following page. I kind of just don't want to make my feed look cramped, so I tend to gravitate towards more zoomed out photos now, so I can curate my feed how I want. I'm more satisfied with it, and it's a good variation in photos to have some close up, to have some showing more of the cosplay, and then having some that shows the entirety of the cosplay. And the entirety of the cosplay, that gives you a lot more freedom to pose. You can be a lot more dynamic, show a lot more personality, because your shoulders can only have so many emotions. Yes, zoom out and show us that stunning cosplay. Like, so beautiful. Next up, don't be afraid to go big. Don't be afraid to go big or go home, because the camera will wash you out. It will not show detail. If you take pictures on your phone, like me, I could be, you know, caked on with makeup, so much makeup. Then I take a picture and it's like, where did it all go? Neutral makeup is like the worst when it comes to showing up on camera for me. Right now, I'm actually wearing, I'd say this is more minimal than usual because I'm not wearing bottom lashes, even though like I preached bottom lashes in one of my videos. I am wearing mascara on my bottom lashes, but I have very tiny bottom lashes, so it's not really that visible, but it's definitely there. In fact, it's quite chunky in person. So like the fact that I'm in front of the camera and it's like, are you wearing mascara? It's hard to see. So I recommend, don't worry about your makeup being too bold or too big, because it'll show up really nice on camera if it is, to be honest. We love a statement color. We love it when makeup is big and bold and in your face, because then it shows up really nice. Also from a distance, it's a lot easier to see. Think of it as kind of like theatrical makeup. Cosplay isn't necessarily theater, of course, but my style of how I like to cosplay, something big, something kind of cartoony and unreal, so I don't mind the very dramatic looks sometimes. And most of the time, I don't even think it comes off as dramatic. If you like scroll through my Instagram, it's like very tame. Like I don't do too much when it comes to different makeup styles or like graphic liner or anything like that, but I do like to saturate my colors. I do use a lot of pigment, a lot of blush, just so it shows up on camera. So if you ever feel like, maybe I'm doing a bit too much, maybe I should like calm down with the makeup, you are probably putting on the correct amount that if you want it to show up on camera on TikToks and stuff like that, without too much help from filters that bring out certain colors. Because if your saturation is like really saturated in person, on camera, it'll probably look just right. And that is exactly what we want. I have packed on blush on many occasions, even today, this occasion, but look how natural it looks on camera. But no, I'm absolutely caked on with makeup right now. Like sweating it all off. It is all up in here, and it is cakey, mind you, okay? Makeup looks like makeup. Makeup looks like product on skin. It is not gonna look like your actual skin. Right now, it looks like product on skin, and it's a lot. But on camera, you see what I mean? I do makeup for the camera. I do it so it shows up, and I do it so it accentuates what I want it to accentuate. Like my eyelids. I always wanted them to look brown, I guess. Don't be afraid to be a bit more bold than what you would walk out of the house with on like an everyday occasion for school or work. And if you do wear very big and bold makeup for school or work, you know, oh my gosh, go you. But yes, those are all my tips for this video. This one was a bit more messy and I started really tired, so I think the energy level kind of picked itself up by the end. And I'm glad. Now I'm actually awake and I can go get like a snack. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If anyone else has any other tips for other people, you could leave a comment down below and share your tips with everyone and me as well, because I'm always on the lookout for new stuff. But yes, I hope you guys had fun, much like I had fun talking about cosplay with you guys. Have a lovely JoJo day, everybody, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!